going to give you an update on my gosling eggs. 24 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2. Okay, they've been in here 9 days. Sorry, I had to use my fingers. Let's take them out and candle them. Good morning, backup dancers. How are you doing today? I'm walking these weenies around my property. And as I'm walking around, I'm looking around because this spring, I almost said fall, this spring and summer, I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands, right? So I'm going to really focus on landscaping this yard. My dad and stepmom were a positive influence in my life. They always had the most manicured yard. Their grass had no weeds, and they had flowers everywhere and beautiful, flower beds and bushes that were trimmed just perfect. And I remember as a kid going, it's so pretty. And so this year, since I have all this time on my hands and I have to stay home, I thought, what can I do? What can I do to exercise? What can I do for my mental health? What can I do? So that's what I chose to do, is to landscape my yard. So let me just show you some ideas that I have. This weekend, I went to my favorite store in Cullman, the feed store, Chambers. I decided to go ahead and get a big old pallet of mulch. Yeah, you're probably wondering how many bags of mulch is on that. Well, there are 50 bags of mulch. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna go home and put it all out. Meanwhile, Shane is back at home. He's finishing the peacock enclosure, bless his heart. And when I got home, I picked up all the scrap wood, loaded it in the side-by-side, and went down to the creek, and I burned all the wood and got it all situated. I have to say, I was pretty proud of myself for starting a fire. I almost felt as though I was 7 years old at the Girl Scout camp. And I was like, okay, Judy, you got to start this fire. And I got two sticks, not rocks, and rode them together and started that fire. Y'all know I'm a big fat lie. I didn't use sticks. Okay, I was just kidding. But look at this fire. Are you not proud of me? Can you believe that I did that? All by myself. Okay, there's something I need to tell you that also happened this weekend. So I was giving my turkey medicine, and guess what? Yep. Just wait. Watch this. Old Spice comes up to see why I'm having Henry, and I start getting flogged. Not once did I get flogged, but I got flogged twice. 3 more. Look at that. See that right there? You see that floating around when I move it? It's a baby. All right, 2 more to go. You're probably wondering why I'm about to chunk this egg. Well, there was one goose egg that was rotten, so I chunked it as far as I could. I got back home, got on my chicken boots, and I began to put out the mulch. Just 1 bag at a time. All 50 bags, just throwing it out in the flower bed so I could get it all situated before I began to open it. I'll be honest, it really wasn't that bad. It was pretty light, to be honest with you, so don't feel sorry for me. I began to get my pocket knife, which Shane would be so proud of me for having my pocket knife in my pocket, and I began to slice open the bags one at a time, dumping them out into the flower bed. I told you before, my dad and my stepmom were such a positive influence in my life when it comes to gardening. Gardening is not one of my strengths, I have to say. Maybe like in the farm, focusing on feeding animals, training animals, entertaining, things like that, I'm pretty good at. But when it comes to gardening, I really don't know what I'm doing. So this will be a situation where I'll do one step at a time, first get all the weeds out of the bed, and then I'll begin to put the mulch down. And then I'm just going to have to go figure out what flowers bloom in the spring, what flowers bloom in the summer, what flowers bloom in the winter, and begin to plant them slowly one by one. Now, I do have a lot of goals for my yard. You know, I have a lot of time on my hands now that my farm is closed to the public. So I began to really think about what I wanted to do to make improvements to help myself mentally, because staying home is my life now with being a caregiver. Well, look at there. Look at that beautiful mulch all in the flower beds. Isn't it beautiful? But listen, that's a lot of bags of mulch, you have to say. My back is going to feel it in the morning. But the results of it all being put out was really worth the hard work and the effort that it took for me to put it all out. I felt really proud of myself, but guess what? 50 bags was not enough. I still have to go back and get more. Now, I left some of the leaves around some of the plants because they're still cold snaps. I didn't want it to ruin the plants. Look at the bags of mulch, all empty. I worked so hard to spread everything out, make it just look so nice and perfect. But I have to clean up, right? So I had to get the pallet, put it in the back of the side-by-side, and pick it up and carry it to the creek, because that'll be one less thing that Shane has to do, is carry it to the creek, and I'll begin to burn it. So my weekend did not stop there. I had to clean out the dreaded duck pond. Look how thick that mud is. It goes all the way to past my ankle, actually. Okay, so let me get myself all stirred up. Let me get my muscles going. Trying to get that mud. Oh my gosh. It's not just mud, but it's also duck poop. Look at that, y'all. It was horrible. The smell was just terrible. I haven't been able to clean it up since the tornado came. So a lot of that is really dirt and sand. But I began to just get my muscles, and I just said, okay, Judy, you've got to do this. You've got to get it. But I was like, oh my goodness, just keep going. And I was trying to make sure that I used my legs, not my back, to pull it up. As I began to just really take a push, and I was pushing so hard to get the shovel up under all that, I said, Judy, it's you. It's you in this mud and this duck poop. Just get it and get it over with. And I was like, okay, here I go. Use my legs, not my back. Come on, Judy, legs, not back. Because I knew I was going to be asked to be on that commercial. She's fallen and she can't get up. I thought, man, I'm going to be the perfect candidate in the morning after I cleaned out this duck pond. But I just kept going because I thought, hey, maybe they'll call me for that commercial and maybe I'll make $1 million and I'll be able to help my farm. But look at all the mud is gone. And then I got the water hose and began to spray it all down. And it wasn't as bad as it really looked. It was pretty good. So now that Queso's had his lunch, I'm focusing on another flower bed. Look at all these weeds, okay? They're overgrown with weeds. And I am gonna have to work really hard to eliminate all these weeds. This has never been touched because I haven't had time to touch it because I've been doing field trips and tours nonstop. So this year, like I said, I'm gonna focus on landscaping. So I began to get on my hands and knees and I began to pull. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be the candidate for I've fallen and I can't get up in the morning. Definitely. But I just began to pull the weeds. I'm very thankful for these gloves, these garden gloves. Guess what? I can turn the phone on and off with these gloves. Much easier to deal with. But I just kept pulling. I was like, well, looks better than it did. I'm not even probably a third of the way done, but I think I'm gonna take a break, go in and eat some lunch, and then get right back at it. Got us an 18-wheeler here. The guy called me and said, I'll be there in just 30 minutes. Do you mind asking me what I'm delivering? I said, sir, you'd never believe it. You're never gonna believe it. He said, I'm just curious. He said, I don't deliver to a residence very often. I said, sir, I've been bit by the chicken bug. And you are delivering my incubator and my hatcher. It is, yes. Okay. He started laughing. He goes, he said, well, that's a first.
Hey, you're good at making me lose my mind, but I always come around, don't I? And I know sometimes I'm bringing you down, but I always make you smile, don't I? We're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea, but still you're the one who brings out the best in me. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again, you and me. Baby, you and me. There is no one else that can make me feel like I can do anything.
Now to decide where the heck this is going. I am thinking I'm going to move this. I'm going to take that table and put it right there and put the cabinet and the incubator on this table is what I'm thinking. But, you know, I'm just going to try it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll go to plan B. That's good. So this is my hatcher. So if you've never hatched chickens, you probably don't understand. So I'm going to, there's my 3. So this is the incubator. You see how these are turned? It's because when you incubate eggs, the eggs have to rotate 3 times a day. So this has an automatic rotator where the eggs will go back and forth. Well, they stay in this cabinet for 18 days. Well, in the last 3 days of hatching for a chicken egg, it goes in what is called lockdown, which means you no longer turn it and you got to bump the humidity up to 65% in order for the baby chick to be able to hatch out of the egg. Well, at lockdown, they'll leave this incubator and they'll go to this hatcher. and they will be born right here in this hatcher.
Hey, you're good at making me lose my mind, but I always come around, don't I? And I know sometimes I'm bringing you down, but I always make you smile.